Looking at a pattern throughout the discernment process from before I entered the convent and then as a postulant into novitiate, there is always this deeper calling of a trust in relationship with the Lord. I had contacted them and had said I wasn't sure if I was even going to be able to make retreat. It was my first year teaching, and it was the week of finals, and I thought, yeah, it's not going to work. The principal will not let me go. They told me what the theme of the retreat was, on the Sacred Heart, and at the time, a lot of my devotions and prayers were to the Sacred Heart. Another one of those moments where I said, okay, I'm listening. I knew I had to come and just see. I guess for me, in the future, I do see myself as a sister somewhere. So I am just trying to find where I feel most at home. I think this pilgrimage that we're on right now is probably one of the most meaningful things. Just trying to experience Christ in different aspects in the nature and in the talks that the other sisters have given so far. They've been very moving. Coming onto the grounds of the Mother House, it's a bit intimidating because there is that sense where you know you're entering upon a holy place, and there are hundreds of sisters within those walls. They've been practicing religious life for their entire life. Walking into that presence, you're walking into this house of wisdom, this house of faith, this house of community, and you see and witness that amongst the sisters also. Before I entered the convent, I was teaching at the time, and I was enjoying that. I'm teaching French and history. When I entered into the postulancy, there was still a lot of questioning going on, whether or not this was the right life for me, but yet there was still that sense, to keep going, keep moving forward. Entering into novitiate, there was more of a sense of peace at that point, that I had finally made that decision to go forward. Then again, those questions, they recirculate, they come back, those doubts. For myself, I kept holding on to and keeping my focus on Christ throughout all of that. The novitiate has its own quiet space. It's a quaint chapel in and of itself, and that was a treasure for the 2 years that I was there, to be able to have Jesus right there at the house where you're living in, over in the novitiate. That small space to spend alone time with Him. And then down by the lake, there's a spot that's a little bit off the beaten path from where sisters typically walk that I'd go to from time to time, just to be out in God's creation and reflect. The way formation takes place, it's not the same 10, 20, 30 years ago. The young women who are coming in have different life experiences, different backgrounds growing up. And part of the wisdom of that too is when you enter into that lived experience in itself, and you're surrounded by the wisdom of the other sisters. And they can share that. They're really the role models of religious life for us. And we look up to that as a source of inspiration, as a source of hope, and becoming part of the family that's been established here for almost 150 years now.